Click off that. There we go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another tier list. Today I'm doing something I've been wanting to do for a little bit of time now. Instead of just doing the regular, Garden Warfare tier list or stuff that, you know, I've been playing on the channel, I thought I would branch out and actually try and do a tier list about a game slash franchise that I've been playing for a long, long time. So basically, we're doing Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty for a long, long time. Some of them I haven't played, some of them I have, and this is going to be very controversial for a lot of people. I'm a huge fan of Call of Duty myself. The first one I played was World at War slash COD 4. Anything before those two games I did not play. So if you want to see more tier lists like this, make sure you drop a like on it, make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and of course let me know in the comments if you want to see more tier lists like this. So basically, I'm going to be ranking them from A to F tier, B, C, and D in the middle, and we've got a bunch of different games here, so it's going to be quite fun. Let me know, obviously, if you agree with some of these games, if you've ever played them, and I'm interested to see what you guys put in the comments. So, we're going to jump straight into this. I'm excited to see how I rank these and how much I'll remember. So, first of all, is Advanced Warfare. Now, it's a bit of a controversial one to start off with. I'll be honest with you, Advanced Warfare for me came at a weird time. Obviously, it came way later than Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, and all of that. And it introduced a lot of, I'm going to call it movement mechanics, in terms of like jumping around with jetpacks and stuff like that. And Infinite Warfare, right here as well, is also similar to it. And I think personally, these two were very similar in a lot of ways, but you know, in terms of opinion, I think they both weren't fantastic. So I'm gonna put both of them in the same tier, I reckon. I don't remember Infinite Warfare that much. I barely played it. Advanced Warfare played a little bit. Uh, but I'll be honest with you guys, I'm gonna put them both D tier. I wasn't a fan of them. Um, I don't know. I tell you what, I'll put Infinite Warfare in F tier because I didn't really play that one. And from what I've heard, it wasn't fantastic as it was. Advanced Warfare was maybe a little bit better because I played it a lot more. The guns were okay. I can't remember what one out of these two games it was, but there was supply drops, and basically I was trying to unlock a legendary STG, I think, back in the day, and to be fair, these two games for me came at a weird time, like I said, and obviously playing a lot of Call of Duties before these two came out, it was completely different. And I don't know, I just didn't really, you know, hook onto them as much as I thought I would. I think, you know, out of all of the Call of Duties I can see here, these two are probably the worst ones, for me personally. I just didn't click on with them. I didn't like much of the movement, and I don't know. It just felt weird for me personally. Black Ops 3. This one wasn't too bad. I did enjoy Black Ops 3. I'll be honest with you. It's Black Ops 4 that's very different. But Black Ops 3 was decent. I'm gonna put it C tier. This one was very cool. I enjoyed how it flowed. Personally, I prefer Black Ops 2 and 1, but out of the four Black Opses, this is definitely my third favourite, and Black Ops 4 is my least favourite. But Black Ops 3 for me was very much just using the CUDA. If any of you remember that SMG, it was fantastic. The CUDA was amazing. And zombies wasn't too bad. There was zombies on this game, and I remember playing it a little bit. I played this game recently with a few friends of mine on PlayStation, and just to see how it is. And I played it for like a couple of weeks, and then I just stopped playing it again. But overall, Black Ops 3 for me was it was an interesting one. Like I said, it's not my favorite Black Ops game there is, but it's definitely not my least favorite. I think the maps were cool. The guns felt nice. I love the paint jobs on the guns and you make your own emblems and stuff like that. That's one thing I've always said about Call of Duty is whenever you can make your own emblem, I found that really cool. But if you can unlock emblems and titles, that was also cool as well. So, it's a bit of a weird one with Black Ops 3, but overall, I think it was decent. It wasn't fantastic, but it definitely wasn't terrible, in my opinion. I think it sits nicely in C tier. So, we're going to move on to Call of Duty World War 2. I played this one a little bit. I'm going to put it with Advanced Warfare. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this game's design was interesting. As far as I remember, there was a lobby type of thing, like where loads of real players could walk around and buy guns, go to the shooting range, open up care packages, supply drops, whatever. And I think this was only like one of the first, if not one of the only Call of Duties to do this. And if you've played Call of Duty World War Two, you would know what I'm on about. Basically, if you load in, as far as I remember, there was a little lobby. You could literally walk around, see other players and stuff like that. And it wasn't too bad. I think that was pretty creative on the Call of Duty side. I didn't mind it. But to be fair, we didn't really hate the original design where you just sat in the main menu waiting to go into a game. So, it was definitely an interesting game. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of like going back in time with the weapons and stuff like that. Maybe with other games like Battlefield would be better personally for that. I mean, Battlefield 5, as far as I remember, that was a fantastic game in a lot of people's eyes, and it was decent for me. But Call of Duty World War Two, their take on an old school warfare slash environment was, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. I didn't mind it, but I played it a little bit. The guns were okay. But overall, I wasn't a fan of the entire atmosphere, the World War Two thing and stuff like that. So, it is a bit weird because I look at all these different games and we've got different timelines here. We've got some games like Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare that are like 30, 40 years from now, or whatever it is. And then we've got World War Two, which is like 60 years ago. And then we've got games that are like current date. So, all the time zones and stuff like that, in my opinion, does come into play with a game like Call of Duty. It affects the gameplay, the guns you're using, the map style a little bit, and I don't know. It World War Two was okay. It was alright, but this next one, Black Ops 4. Now, this one for me personally, how do I explain this? It was a bit like having a slushy and it was like half of the cup was ice and the rest of it was like not even made properly. Now, this game introduced something new to the Call of Duty franchise at this point. And of course, everyone knows what I'm talking about. It was Blackout, the Battle Royale game mode. Now, I'll be honest, I played it once on Black Ops 4. I played the Blackout game mode once, and it was a full-on Battle Royale experience. It was an interesting take, because obviously at that point, a load of Battle Royales like Fortnite, Apex, whatever, was taking the lead on the gaming industry with the whole Battle Royale aesthetic and stuff like that. But I don't know, for me, I played Blackout a handful of times, I would say, and I don't know, it was an interesting take. For most people, Blackout was actually okay on this game. I'm not saying it was terrible. I'm not saying that it was the worst thing in the game, because personally, I felt like the multiplayer was worse. Now, that was probably a controversial thing to say, but personally, in my opinion, I think the Battle Royale on Black Ops 4 was okay. But the multiplayer for me just, I don't know, I played multiplayer like once or twice and then never played it again. Maybe it was because, at the time it was out, I was playing other games and I didn't have time to play it, or it was, I don't know, the multiplayer just felt out of time for me, and compared to the other Black Ops games and compared to the other Call of Duty games, it just felt a bit weird. I played it like once or twice, I never touched it again. I never played the campaign on Black Ops 4. I never even bothered with that. I don't remember much about Black Ops 4, but the only thing I remember was the Battle Royale was alright. It definitely could be better. If the game came out right now and they fixed everything, it could definitely be improved. But in terms of the multiplayer for me on this game, it just felt weird, and I wasn't a fan of it. I don't know why. It was one of the, obviously up to this point, every other multiplayer, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, and Modern Warfare 2 and 3 and all that, the multiplayer felt good, and this was for the first time in a while. The multiplayer felt bad for me on a Call of Duty game, so I'm not going to put it F tier. I think that's a bit too harsh. I'm going to put it D tier with Advanced Warfare and World War Two because the game had some okay things, but it definitely wasn't my favorite Black Ops. It's my least favorite one, believe it or not. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Okay, now this one I've seen a lot of good stuff about it. I've seen one or two things bad about it, and overall, and this is going to tie into Cold War right here as well. Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War is going to tie in a little bit with Modern Warfare. What one do I prefer? I'll explain it in a minute, but overall, for a game, from what I've seen, I played the multiplayer. It was nice. It was decent. I enjoyed the multiplayer. The guns felt nice. Obviously, Modern Warfare introduced Call of Duty Warzone, which is absolutely massive around the entire globe. It has been for the past couple of years. And Warzone was just a huge step in the right direction for Call of Duty. And I think personally, it was a fantastic idea for the developers of these different games to step back and realize what they're doing wrong and what they want to do right. So obviously with Warzone, I'm not going to talk about it too much because obviously it's technically a separate thing, but I'll talk about it a little bit here. Compared to the Black Ops 4 Battle Royale, this would be straight B tier because of Warzone only. I think Warzone was a great move for Call of Duty at the time, and obviously with some of the newer Call of Duty struggling, Black Ops 4, Advanced Warfare, whatever. It was definitely a decent move for the franchise, and I think Warzone, I wouldn't say saved it, but it definitely brought some life back to the franchise itself, and I think Warzone by itself could have easily, you know, flattened, in my opinion, Black Ops 4's Blackout Battle Royale. So it was amazing to see. Obviously, these two are two different developers, Treyarch and Sledgehammer and Activision, whatever. These two games were made by two different people, so Black Ops 4, get off of that. Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare were made by two different companies, as far as I'm aware. So, to see one company try and make it happen in Black Ops 4's Blackout game mode and then come back and smash it out with Warzone with these developers, it was a big, big comparison. And I think it was pretty obvious in terms of like what Battle Royale game mode was better. So overall, Warzone for this game was amazing. But going back to the base game, I think the multiplayer was nice. The maps felt alright. The guns felt good. I didn't play the campaign, but I have heard that it was it was decent. So, who knows? I might go back and play this campaign because obviously the new Call of Duty, right all the way down here, Modern Warfare 2 is coming out this year. So, that's going to be very interesting. But in terms of um, overall, I think Modern Warfare was alright. I think it was one of the better. I'm not gonna say it's the best Call of Duty we've ever had, but it's one of the better games we've had in a long, long time, in my opinion. Call of Duty Cold War. Now, this one was interesting. It definitely was a step up from Black Ops 4. I do prefer Cold War to Black Ops 4 any day of the week, but this isn't my favorite Call of Duty. Neither Black Ops 3, 4, and Cold War are not my favourite Black Ops games. I will get down to Black Ops 1 and 2 in a bit, and I'll discuss what one is my favourite at all, the whole Black Ops series. So, Cold War, I'm going to put in C tier. I prefer Modern Warfare, personally, but Cold War for me, I didn't play the campaign at all. I think I'm not gonna lie. For the past couple of Call of Duties now, I haven't really played the campaigns often. This new one, Modern Warfare 2, that's coming out this year, I'll definitely want to play that. Modern Warfare, I saw a few things about it. Apparently, it was good, but yeah, Black Ops Cold War. I didn't really play the campaign. I'll be honest with you. Ever since Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, 4, and Cold War, I haven't played either of those three campaign. I haven't played Black Ops 3 campaign, I haven't played Cold Wars or Black Ops 4. I didn't bother with them. I don't know if that's because I lost interest in the campaigns. It might be a little bit to do with that. But personally, the Cold Wars multiplayer is alright. Definitely better than the Black Ops 4 multiplayer, as far as I remember how bad that one was, in my opinion. But for me, I played a lot of Cold War recently in the past, I'll probably say about 8, 9 months now. I played it a little bit constantly. I played it for a good couple months with my friends, and I streamed it a few times as well. And the more I played it, the more I started to appreciate it. But the only thing I didn't like about Cold War was a little bit of the zombies. For me, when I get around to Black Ops 1 and 2 in the bottom there, I'll explain zombies in a lot more detail and how much I like zombies. But to me, Cold War, I prefer Black Ops 3 zombies to Cold Wars. Don't get me wrong, Cold Wars, Black Ops Zombies it was fun. It was nice, but to me, it felt a little bit different to what I'm used to. And I'm not saying that it was terrible because of how different it was to the zombies that I'm normally playing or catching up on or anything like that. I'm not saying it was terrible because of that. I'm just saying I've gotten so used to how zombies used to feel rather than how it is going to feel in the future, if that makes sense. So yeah, overall Cold War, I didn't play the campaign. Multiplayer was a bit good. It was decent. I had a lot of fun on it. It flowed quite nicely. Some of the maps I would definitely change. But the guns felt nice. Zombies was a little bit off in my opinion, but overall I think it sits with Black Ops 3 and C tier personally, and I prefer Modern Warfare to Cold War. So moving on to Call of Duty Vanguard. I have not played this game at all. I have not bothered. I have not heard anything good about it. Maybe in the first week, and yeah, I'm going to be honest here. Maybe in the first week, this game was okay, but I've never played it. I've heard a lot more bad reviews and bad stuff about the game rather than good, and sometimes that is a good reason why to stay away from a game like this. So, personally, I don't think I'll be picking up Vanguard at all. A lot of people said to me, you know what, you should give it a try. It's actually alright, but I don't know. My friend, he bought this for, I think it was like 50, £60, something like that, so quite expensive. He played it for a week or two, never touched it again. And every time I talk to him on PlayStation, he always says to me that it's the biggest waste of money he's ever done. And I'm not going to say that's true. Obviously, there are probably some Vanguard fans out there, people who play it now, people who played it when it came out. Regardless, this is my tier list, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about my choices in these games and where I'm ranking them. So, in terms of Vanguard, I'm going to put it F here. I know I don't have an opinion to go off of, and judging from what other people have said on the internet, on YouTube, on the game itself, on Twitch, whatever, it doesn't seem to get a good review half of the time. So I can't really say anything on my behalf, but judging from what other people have said about it, I think it wasn't fantastic. These two, I have not actually played these. I have not played either of these two Call of Duties. These are the old ones, and I was nowhere near alive when these two came out. So, I'm actually going to, can I add a tier list here or something like that? No, I don't think I can. Delete row, add a row below. There we go. New, yeah. I'm just gonna put these two down here for now. Not played. I put wait, what's happened here? Yeah, I put Vanguard down there. I haven't played either of those three. Obviously Vanguard I just spoke about, but these two here, these were out before I was even born, and I just never got around to playing them. So I'm sure they're good. Obviously let me know if you played either of those two Call of Duties in the comment section below. Let me know if they're any good. Obviously back in the day when they came out, I would imagine they were pretty decent. But nowadays they'll probably just be full of, cheaters or whatever like that. So yeah, unfortunately, I never played either of these two. But I'm sure they were a lot of fun. So Call of Duty 4, I tell you what, this one was good. COD 4 Modern Warfare was, for me, alongside World at War, which is this one here as well, was the starting point of Call of Duty for me. Like I said, I didn't play any of these. Oops, there we go. I didn't play these two, and these two down here in the not played section actually came out before these two. But I started playing Call of Duty when World at War and COD 4 came out. So, um, it's just nostalgia, man. Like I could hop on there right now and remember playing Shipment most of the time. That's literally all I did on these two games. COD 4 and World at War for me were both the starting point of my Call of Duty love and getting into the franchise, etc. This is where I first started playing Call of Duty. So personally, I'm gonna put them both in. I'm gonna put them both in B tier. I think they're a staple. I think they're a stamp in the Call of Duty timeline. I think a lot of people, you know, as well as me, started Call of Duty around that time. Obviously, if you're older than the age of 21, which is what I am, the age of 21. If you're older than that, then obviously you would have played these two and you would maybe rank them higher. But if you're around my age, if not a bit younger, and you managed to play these two, this is definitely for me the starting point in the franchise that I started to really, really enjoy Call of Duty and get into it more. So the multiplayer was nice. Zombies in World at War was very basic, but it was fantastic. And I remember playing some of the old school maps. Very, very bare bones zombies. There was no crazy lasers and all that kind of stuff. It was very basic, but it was just nostalgia at the end of the day. I think it was for me, like I said, a timestamp in the Call of Duty franchise, both of these games, and I think overall, they deserve to be up in B tier because of how much nostalgia and how much they inspire people to play the game more. So, Modern Warfare 2. Wow. Oh, I tell you what, man. If there's one game I could go back and play on the console for the first time, it would be this. One of the very few games I remember a lot. Now, I played it a lot. I watched my brother play it a lot. I knew a lot of people who played it. And this, for me, quite possibly, arguably, could be the best Call of Duty game of all time. Now, there's obviously different opinions. People might prefer Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 3. Obviously, leave your thoughts and comments in the section below. But for me, this was A tier, straight up. I remember so many memories on this game. I created a lot of enemies, I created a lot of friends, and it was just amazing. I think from COD 4, Modern Warfare up to Modern Warfare 2, it was a fantastic improvement. The gunplay, the mechanics, the maps, the style, it was just fantastic. And I could talk about Modern Warfare 2 for ages. I'll try not to blabber on about it too much this video. But Modern Warfare 2 for me was all about, the intervention sniper, jumping on the map Rust and one-v-oneing someone that was chatting rubbish to you in the lobby. Terminal, there was Underpass, there was Skid Row, there was Tar 21 with the Noob Tube, there was the Wasteland map where you spawn in and Noob Tube across it and get a nuke pretty much instantly. There was the Model Akimbos. There was just UMP 405, the ACR. It was just fantastic, man. And Modern Warfare 2 for me is, in my opinion, my favourite, most played Call of Duty I've ever played in my life, and it was fantastic. And it hit the world by storm, as far as I remember. It was everywhere. It was on the news. It was in Blockbuster back in the day when Blockbuster was a thing. A lot of people played it, and the best thing about Modern Warfare 2 was the multiplayer. The campaign, I've recently replayed that on my PlayStation, a remastered version. Make sure you go check that out. But the campaign was fantastic. Um, there is one point in the campaign that I'm not going to talk about because if you haven't played it, then spoilers. But there is one point in the campaign that I remember off by heart, and every time I see it, it breaks me. It sucks. And if you played Modern Warfare 2 and the campaign, whether it's this campaign or a remastered version on PlayStation 4, you know exactly what point in the story I'm talking about. But the multiplayer, the campaign, for me, both together, it was just an endless supply of fun. And I remember Modern Warfare 2 coming home after school, hopping on, chatting some complete nonsense to people on the mic, my rubbish mic. This is completely different. I had a little Xbox mic in my left ear, and the mic came down to here, and it was super super terrible. But you know what? It's those memories of the older games that we, remember and love. And Modern Warfare 2 for me will always be one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, and that will never change. So Black Ops, oh boy, I'm gonna put that A tier as well. Black Ops for me is completely different to Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is multiplayer. Black Ops for me was zombies. Oh my goodness, zombies alone, personally, from how much it stepped up from World at War to Black Ops was unbelievable. The amount of improvement there was, the amount of new maps there was, the amount of fun I had on the zombies was amazing. And I just remember playing zombies on Black Ops 1 for hours and hours and hours, whether it's on Kino, whether it's on 5, whether it's on Call of the Dead, Ascension. I don't even know what maps are in Black Ops 1 Zombies anymore because I've played so many zombies on Black Ops 2 and 3 since then. I don't remember, but Kino and 5 on Zombies is the two maps that are just classic. And quite frankly, Black Ops 1 multiplayer was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. The campaign was great as well. But, I feel like it's the same with Modern Warfare 2. There's nothing terrible about it. It all just flowed together. The multiplayer and the campaign and the zombies and Black Ops just all fitted together well. Whether you wanted to hop on, play a few games of zombies, and then you got annoyed, you play some multiplayer, and then you wanted to chill out and play some campaign by yourself. Whatever you were doing on Black Ops, man, it was just fun. And Black Ops for me, um, the zombies for me, I'm a huge zombies fan, and I played it for hours and hours. And the multiplayer, the AK-74U with rapid fire, the Galil suppressor with ghosts, the motion sensors. Like honestly, this game brings back good old Black Ops, and ever since obviously Cold War, Black Ops 3 and 4, this is probably my favourite Black Ops game. A lot of people like Black Ops 2. Now, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy Black Ops 2, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Black Ops 1, alongside Modern Warfare 2, were two of my most favourite Call of Duties of all time, due to how much I played them and how much I remember. And overall, Black Ops was just fantastic. So I am honoured to put that up there with Modern Warfare 2. Now, Modern Warfare 3. Now, this one was an interesting timeline. Modern Warfare 2, when it came out, set the bar of, I call it the bar of standards. Basically, what I mean by that is we all Call of Duty fans had such a high standard after Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 in the Modern Warfare franchise, I'm not talking about Black Ops because that's different. I'm talking about the Modern Warfare franchise. It was completely massive. It took the Modern Warfare franchise to another level, and Modern Warfare 2 was just fantastic. Now, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, I'm not going to say that it was as good as Modern Warfare 2, because I still believe Modern Warfare 2 was better. Um, but I do remember a lot of things about Modern Warfare 3. The campaign coming off of Modern Warfare 2's campaign was fantastic. I really enjoyed the campaign Modern Warfare 3. The special ops mode was fun, the survival thing. I don't remember what it's called, but I played that a few times and that was great. The multiplayer is the main thing I want to focus on this little review of Modern Warfare 3. Now, personally, I feel like if Modern Warfare 3 came out before Modern Warfare 2, it would have been a whole different story. So if we had COD 4, Modern Warfare, then Modern Warfare 3, and then Modern Warfare 2, I think it would have been a different story. I think Modern Warfare 2 would still be an A tier, and Modern Warfare 3 would be an A tier. But because Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, set the standard so high for Modern Warfare 3, it was so hard to compete, you know, with that game. And you got to remember with Call of Duties back then, they used to bring it out once every year, maybe once every 2 years. So they didn't get a huge amount of time to go from this game to the next game and improve it in every possible way. So I remember Modern Warfare 3 a lot because of the campaign. The multiplayer was great. The hard hat map was fun. Estate, no, not estate. Is it estate? I can't. It's not estate. It's the one with the white buildings on the picture. I can't remember. Um, but this game, like, I would love to say that it's better than Modern Warfare 2, but I don't think it was. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Now, the main thing I liked about Modern Warfare 3 was the guns. Now, on that game, we had some good ones. We had the MP7. MP7 on Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer was unbelievable, bro. It was fantastic. It was like a Yorkshire Terrier dog about that big, but just constantly yapping at you, and it just did not leave you alone. You were dropping bodies left, right, and centre. Um, the Striker shotgun with 16, 18 bullets, whatever upgrade you have on it, the Striker shotgun was unbelievably OP because of how much ammo it had. The ACR in Modern Warfare 3 from Modern Warfare 2 was a big upgrade. Modern Warfare 3 for me is a good game. The M4A1 was nice. I preferred Modern Warfare 2 M4A1, but that's fine. But the PPSH, no, not PPSH, the Bison. I think it was called the Bison or the Bullfrog in Warzone terms. The Bullfrog in Modern Warfare 3 was great. The snipers were nice. The MSR was fantastic. Modern Warfare 3 for me was an interesting game. But I'm happy to put it B tier. I don't think it was quite A tier, but I'm happy to put it B tier. So Black Ops 2. Oh boy, this one was. You know what? I'm gonna be honest here. Overall, definitely an upgrade from Black Ops 1. The zombies got better, the multiplayer got better, the campaign got better, everything just improved. Now, I'm actually going to put this up in A2 as well. I played a lot of Black Ops 2. I remember Hijacked, I remember Nuketown, I remember the flipping zombies on it, you know, Mob of the Dead, you had Transit, um, you had flipping Nuketown zombies map. The campaign was I don't remember the campaign much, to be honest with you. But as far as I remember, it was all right. So you know, it definitely overall the entire game was just a huge step in the right direction for the Black Ops franchise since Black Ops 1. You know, Black Ops 1 for me was the best Black Ops of all time, but then it got even better with Black Ops 2, you know? And I think they're both, even though they're both in the same franchise, I think they're both like good for their own time. So Black Ops 1 was came out earlier than Black Ops 2, so therefore I like it because of that reason. But I like Black Ops 2 overall as well because the amount of hours I put on that game trying to get like max prestige was unbelievable. And the AN-94, basically the AK, the AN-94 was fantastic. The snipers were nice. I didn't really use shotguns in that game often. But the whole Black Ops 2 thing, everything about it since Black Ops 1 was just a huge step in the right direction. It's like they got Black Ops 1 and just went, yep, add a number 2 on the title and upgrade everything. And that's literally what they did. The multiplayer was good, the campaign, as far as I remember, was good, and the zombies was good as well. So personally, Black Ops 1 and 2 are fantastic compared to all the others. Cold War is an interesting one. Black Ops 3 was okay, and Black Ops 4 I wasn't a big fan of. So I'm very happy to put Black Ops 2 up there, and I think it deserves a nice little A spot. So Call of Duty Ghosts, quite arguably the most underrated Call of Duty of all time. Now, that's not me saying that it was fantastic. There is one or two things I didn't enjoy. Um, but now that I look at the list, there are one or two games that I would not play, and if I had to play Call of Duty Ghosts instead of those games, I would. Basically, let me explain. I would rather play COD Ghost than Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. Let's just say that. I would rather play COD Ghost than them two. And I think for the time, as far as I remember, it was Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 2, all that. And then Call of Duty Ghosts came out somewhere in between, and I think Black Ops 1, 2, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 set such a high standard, like I said, with Modern Warfare 2 and 3 earlier. COD Ghost at the time just couldn't catch up. It couldn't uphold its own legs. And I feel like a lot of people give it bad credit. But now that I look at like the other Call of Duties like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, I kind of appreciate Call of Duty Ghosts a little bit more. And don't get me wrong, I think it was a nice little game. The campaign was actually really good, to be fair. I think the campaign on COD Ghost was fantastic. We had a cliffhanger at the end with Rourke, I think it was, and then your character was related to the main character in the campaign as well. I can't remember the name. But yeah, Rourke basically took you away at the final mission on the campaign, as far as I remember. I think that's his name, but yeah, the campaign on Cold Ghost was great for some reason, and I remember the multiplayer. We had the Strike Town, I think it was called Strike Town, the one with the hot dog mascot, and it was like a stadium. We had flipping the Honey Badger. Oh my goodness! I tell you what, yeah, quite possibly my favorite gun in Call of Duty Ghosts was the Honey Badger. It just everything about it, it was fantastic. It was like the MP7 and the ACR had a baby on Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, and the Modern Warfare 3, like it was like the ACR and the MP7 had a baby, and then it made the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger on Cold Ghost multiplayer is quite arguably one of the best SMGs of all time, and I still stick to that. It was a fantastic gun. It had the range of an AR and the damage of a train getting hit by a full speed lightning. But overall as a game, I feel like it definitely got a little bit of hate for when it came out. And I see a lot of people nowadays, quite recently as well, within the last year and a half, people have said, Call of Duty Ghosts, yeah, we might have been a bit too harsh on it. And I think a lot of us were a bit too harsh on it by the time it came out. Now, um, I there is one thing I will mention about COD Ghost was Extinction. Now, if you've never played COD Ghost, it's basically their take on Black Ops' Zombies. It was basically where you hop in and you survive waves and waves of zombies. But in this case, in Call of Duty Ghost, you would basically face off against waves and waves of aliens. And I remember playing that for quite a bit. I did play Extinction a lot, but it didn't have the same feeling as Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, maybe Black Ops 3's Zombies game mode. Now, as a fan of the franchise and as a gamer personally, I can understand why they wanted to try and change it because at the time we had like three sets of zombies that came out, or two sets of zombies game modes that came out. We had World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3. And then COD goes somewhere in between Black Ops 2 and 3 came out, or whenever it came out. And I would imagine the developers went, yeah, maybe the zombies game mode is getting a bit flushed out. Maybe the zombies game mode was a bit overused at this point, and that's why they added Extinction with the aliens. And now, don't get me wrong, I think it was an interesting idea. I do respect them for trying to change it and stuff like that. But personally, I would have liked to have seen maybe another special ops game mode rather than Extinction, because at that time, um, from Black Ops 2 up to Black Ops 3, the zombies game mode on those two games grew so much in popularity due to the story. And we've got Richthofen, we've got Nikolai, we've got Dempsey, we've got other characters, Dr. Monty and stuff like that in the Zombies franchise and the Black Ops series. Extinction just felt a little bit out of place. It was kind of like, alright, let's just make something a bit similar and hope for the best. Now, that was just my opinion. Again, I respect them for trying something different, but maybe it wasn't the best move. Multiplayer was alright, the campaign was good, but the Extinction for me was just a bit off. So, I believe it or not, I'm going to put it with C tier. I think it deserves a lot more credit, but there is definitely a lot more things I would change about Call of Duty Ghost if it came out today. I like the whole theme around it, but there is definitely one or two things I would improve on. So, finally, the brand new Call of Duty. This isn't even out yet. This is coming out this year in October, November. The Modern Warfare 2 game. Now, can I just say, by the way, judging from that picture alone, I put it straight in A tier. My favourite character in any of Call of Duty, Simon Ghost Riley. Whether this is the same guy, I don't know, because obviously if you've played Modern Warfare 2, you know exactly what happens to that character, but Overall, where do I think this game is going to go? I want to put it B A tier, maybe C tier, but I'm gonna put it in C tier for now. Obviously, it is not out yet. It is nowhere near to be out yet. I think it's this year in October, maybe October/November. I can't remember when it's coming out. But what I expect from Modern Warfare 2 is, you know, the last two Call of Duty games we've had is obviously Cold War and Modern Warfare. This doesn't link to Cold War in any way. I don't think this is a straight like secondary installment of Modern Warfare. Now, I really, really hope that this is where Call of Duty is going to get back into the swing of things. You know, they've forgotten about the futuristic Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and Black Ops 4 stuff, and the old school stuff like World War 2 and Vanguard. They got rid of all those stuff, and we're just going back to the classic Modern Warfare 2 Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, Modern Warfare 3 whole atmosphere of modern day shooter, first person, and I really, really do hope this game does well. Because I think, you know, with Modern Warfare and Cold War, I wouldn't say we're back to where we were all those years ago with Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 1, but it ever since those two games came out, it's definitely a little bit of a step in the right direction, going back to the good old times, you know. And I think for the Call of Duty franchise and how many ups and downs it's had over the years, I think this game could very much give it that extra nudge into the next level. And I really hope Modern Warfare 2, I'll call it Modern Warfare 2 Remastered for now. So I really hope Modern Warfare 2 Remastered that comes out this year really does elevate this whole franchise into a brand new era and I'm hoping in a weird way it's similar to Modern Warfare 2. We had a few games before it, so you know Cold War and Modern Warfare are similar to Cold 4 and World at War, and then Modern Warfare 2 came out. So with this one we've had Modern Warfare and Cold War, and then this one came out. You know what I'm saying? So I hope Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is going to be great. I'm going to put it C tier because obviously I don't know where I would rank it in terms of now. Because obviously the game isn't out yet, but I hope it does do well, and obviously time will tell. So there we go. That is my Call of Duty tier list. I think overall I ranked it pretty well. I don't see many changes that I would change about it, and I'm happy with what I've done. So obviously, if you guys want to see more tier lists like this, make sure you drop a like on it. Let me know your thoughts about this tier list in the comment section down below, and also let me know if you want me to do more tier lists like this in the future. So thank you so much for watching as always. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on as always. Stay hydrated, stay safe out there, and keep on gaming. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Thank you for watching, and peace.